My name is Abby, I'm in 8th grade. Today I'm here to talk about self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is an act of speaking up for oneself and sharing your own thoughts. I've always been shy. Speaking up has been hard for me, even to people who I trust. This has been a challenge, especially in situations where I was hesitant to ask for help or I felt like my needs weren't important. A hard thing about this is that the only way to get better is practicing and overcoming the shyness to face my fears. When I was younger, it was harder for me to speak up. This came with cost, though. Giving it has always seemed to me like a way to make peace and the right thing to do. But lately I've realized that compromising goes both ways. I give it a little, and so does the other person, and together we make a plan that works for both of us. Sometimes I think that it's a small thing I'm giving up, like learning something that makes me a little anxious or staying up an extra half hour, but then it grows into something bigger, like diving into a topic that I'm uncomfortable with, or staying up hours past my bedtime. It's important to set limits and know when to say no. Something that makes advocating for myself hard for me is that I worry about what other people will think. I don't want to ruin what they're doing or stop them from having fun. I worry that people will think of me as a party killer, so I have to avoid or disturbance. These thoughts have come at a cost. Not speaking up can create or experience situations that can be harmful, either physically or mentally. Some examples of this are, the first one is sleepovers. I need more sleep than some of my friends, which is embarrassing to me. I sometimes don't want to go to sleep before them, and too worried to say no and say no to staying up. I also don't want to be problematic or stop them from having fun. Sometimes I try to advocate for myself, but it doesn't work, so I give up, and because I don't feel like my needs are valuable. The second one is TikTok. So just for some background, I'm not on social media and I don't make TikToks. I have been scared to ask my friends and classmates to stop making TikToks because I didn't want to be blamed when they couldn't have fun. Even small things, like great pictures, I sometimes have to leave, and it makes me feel like I'm not part of the community or I'm known for leaving. I've heard people say that that I need to leave like something that's getting posted online, and sometimes it makes me feel like a burden. But it's also important to me and my parents that I'm not on TikTok or social media, and I need to say no. It's hard, but it's the right thing to do. I realized that this one thing affected many parts of my life, and it was going to stay that way unless I spoke up. So I did, and it's made these things much more manageable. There are some things that have helped me overcome this challenge. Some prominent ones are the support of my family and friends, practice, and needing to do it. In the past years, as I've grown up, I've gone to more and more places without my parents, where I couldn't rely on them for help. This has caused me to talk to people who I wasn't entirely comfortable with, who I didn't know. A few weeks ago, during basketball practice, I got a paper cut and asked the person at the front desk at the YMCA for a Band-Aid. It was a small task, but I'm really proud of it because it shows how much I've grown. I probably couldn't have done that a year or two ago. People, including my parents and friends, have encouraged me to speak up, and with their help, I've grown more comfortable with it. Also, being in an environment where I know I'm not being judged helps immensely. As anyone in band can tell you, I'm not shy there, because as weird as I might be, so is everyone else. My close friends also make me feel this way. I know that I can say what I want near them without being judged, and I know that they'll always listen to me. For last year and part of this year, people in my grade have had their bar and bat mitzvah. I went to most of them, and most of the time my parents weren't there. This probably seems like a nice thing to you all. Being at a bar mitzvah without your parents, then at parties dancing, eating as many cookies as you want without them saying no. This is harder for me though. I still go to the services and sit with my friends, but parties are harder for me. There are multiple reasons for this. So I don't like a lot of noise. I get overwhelmed easily, and a few of the parties I panicked, and it was hard for me to calm down because of all the commotion. If my parents had been there, it would have been easier to calm down, and I wouldn't have panicked so easily. Second is I'm allergic to peanuts. It's not really obvious how this has to do with parties, but parties, a big part of it is food. My allergy is pretty severe, so I have to make sure that the food doesn't contain or it wasn't around peanuts. This means talking to the caterer or person in charge to find out if it's safe for me. After sometimes I'm doing this with help from a friend or parent, I tried on my own. Practicing this skill helped me. It made it easier. Each time it got easier, and now it's barely a challenge. I've grown from these experiences, and now I'm much more comfortable asking caterers about food and in general talking to people who I don't know. I've learned to listen to what I want and what I need and help decisions like whether or not to go to a party. Asking for help is a sign of strength. This has been difficult for me to understand. Sometimes my needs are different than the people around me. which makes me feel like I shouldn't need something if they don't. For instance, I need sleep more than some of my friends. I need more sleep than some of my friends. This has challenged my sleepovers when they want to stay up later than me, and I get conflicted on what to do. I felt like I should need to go to sleep earlier, and I was weak because of this difference. I was wrong. I can't control how much sleep I get, how much sleep I need, but I can't control how much sleep I get. I need the right amount for me. By giving this Sunny Mommy Na, I'm standing up for myself and advocating for what I believe in. I'm explaining to all of you my feelings on self-advocacy and what I need help with. I've learned a lot through these experiences. I've gotten infinite times better at speaking up. I learned to value my opinions and that differences bring us together. Most of all, self-advocacy makes you stronger, not weaker. It's still hard for me, especially when standing up for myself at times when I thought I was wrong. But I can see how much progress I made. And although I'll never be perfect, I am on the road to success. And Mommy Na, I believe that although standing up for oneself takes courage, it's one of the most beneficial things you can do.